Hi everyone, welcome to Metric Conversions that you can use on the AP Environmental Science exam. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to calculate a metric conversion using dimensional analysis. So let's go ahead and get started. On the AP exam, you may see a few metric units that you actually want to change size or convert into a different size of that same unit. So there's the units that you need to be familiar with. Okay, for length, most times you're going to see the meter, which is small m. For mass, you'll usually see it in kilograms. We'll get there, but it's measured in grams. That's the base unit. For power, you see what we know as the watt. And for energy, because energy is power times time, you may remember from the energy unit we use the watt hour. How many megawatts does it generate? Okay, so you might remember, but you might not, that a megawatt is equivalent to 1 million watts. And really this question, because this is a measurement of power, this should say power here. Okay, so to go from a megawatt to a watt, you guessed it, I would multiply by 1 million, or 1 times 10 to the 6. Okay, to go from watts to megawatt, I would multiply by 1 over 1 times 10 to the 6. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. Knowing this information, if I have 3.0 times 10 to the 7th watts, I would multiply that number by 1 megawatt times, over 1 times 10 to the 6 watts. Okay, watts are going to cancel out, so good, I'm going to be left with megawatts, which is what I want. Okay, 3 divided by 1, of course, is 3. Now, 10 to the 7th divided by 10 to the 6th, you may or may not remember this, but when you divide, you actually subtract the exponents. So this would actually be 30 megawatts. Okay, and for our last problem, the length and width of a landfill are 3 kilometers and 1,500 meters. Calculate the area in kilometers squared of the landfill. So this question has a few components. Remember that area is length times width. Okay, not to be confused with watts, this is width here. Okay, all right, so we have kilometers for our length, we have meters for our width, so we do need to change this, and we're interested in an area, so we need to multiply two measurements that contain kilometers in order to find the area. Okay, so if we were to just multiply these right now, we had 3 kilometers for our length, and we have 1,500 meters for our width. This would not work. So we're going to have to do something else to this problem to convert these meters to kilometers. Okay, so to go from a meter to a kilometer, you put kilometers on top, meters on the bottom. There are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Meters would cross out. We have kilometers squared and kilometers and kilometers. When these multiply, it will now be kilometers squared. That's exactly what we want. Okay, we have 4,500 kilometers squared divided by 1,000. So the answer would be 4.5 kilometers squared.